And welcome back to Imperium Gaming. Ian here, Andy there, my older brother, in case you can't notice the resemblance between us.
He's a lucky boy, isn't he?
Very lucky boy. So we're bringing to you today a 2,000 point battle report. We're playing Ravenguard versus Sisters of Battle with an Imperial Knight in support. We haven't rolled up for missions yet, but we're going to be using the chapter approved missions. So it's either going to be Eternal War or it's going to be a Maelstrom of War, which we'll do that in a second. We've got a nice new table to use today, a bit of a snow theme going on, which has very kindly been supplied to us by Gamemat.eu, as is most of the terrain on it, which you will see shortly.
Right guys, thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed the battle we're going to play today. It would help us hugely if at the end of it, if you enjoy what you see, that you subscribe. It will help us bring some more battles to you in the future. Thanks very much and see you later.
The button should be round about there.
There.
No, here, down there.
So,
there. No. Anyway, it will be somewhere with a little bell. If you hit that as well, that will then tell you every time we are uploading a report, which we're hoping to do on a more regular basis moving forward.
thanks guys. We'll see you in a minute. Right guys, Ravenguard force for today consists of a battalion detachment led by a jump pack captain. He's going to be using the relic jump pack available to Ravenguard, and a chaplain for the 2 HQ choices. There is 3 5-man scout squads, 2 of which are snipers and 1 sort of close combat oriented. Also they've got a couple of transport in the form of 2 Razorbacks, 1 twin Las, Stormbolter and Hunter Killer Missile, the other one twin assault cannon, and then the same. So that's 1 detachment. We've also got a Vanguard detachment led by a lieutenant. There's a veteran Vanguard squad, company champion, company ancient, and an apothecary. And then moving across, we've got a spearhead detachment with Kavan Shrike. He will be the warlord for the day, and 3 separate units of the rapier gun carriages with the quad mortars and crew. And then finally, we have an air wing detachment in the form of 2 Storm Talons and a Stormhawk, looking to bring some hurt to the birds.
And my army is Sisters of Battle, or already been referred to as birds, Duns with Guns, whatever you want to call them. Adeptus Sororitas, yeah, Battle Bints, that's another one. And I'm rocking 3 detachments today. So I have a battalion, which is led by Celestine and her 2 Gemini Superior. She is my warlord. I've given her Tenacious Survivor to try and ignore the odd wound here and there. The other HQ choice is a Canoness with a Power Sword, and that's it. 3 troops choices, bare bones, 5 Sisters of Battle, just to get me into the battalion position. I've then got 2 Dominion squads with 4 melter guns in each one. They have dedicated transports in the form of Immolation, Flamer equipped Immolators with an extra Stormbolter on each. I also have a 10-girl squad of Seraphim with double bolt pistols all the way through, with the exception of the sergeant, who has a close combat weapon, and I have 1 model with twin Inferno pistols. My next detachment is a super heavy, which is made up of the knight here, weapons as shown. And then finally, and I can never remember what it's called, I think it's a Vanguard, so elites. I have a Celestian squad, so 2 Stormbolters and the rest are normal bolt guns, so effectively a squad of sergeants if you've never come across them before, with an Immolator as a dedicated transport with twin multi-melters and Stormbolter, 2 Vindicare Assassins, and a Canoness with an Inferno pistol and Power Sword. She is also carrying our relic, the Blade of Admonition, which is quite nasty, makes her strength 5, doing a flat 3 damage for each attack. So command points, I should really be getting 9, but I have to lose the command point earned by this unit or this detachment because of the fact that the assassins are in there. So that's me. Let's have a look at the mission and the table. So here we have today's table. We're going with a snow theme, and the table has been rolled for deployment. It is Dawn of War. We have 6 objectives on the table because we are playing Kill Confirmed. So Kill Confirmed is the mission where you get bonus points for every unit you destroy, and every Maelstrom card that you pull, you can't throw it away if it's an an order to kill, essentially. So if it's slay the witch or something like that, was it witch hunter it's called, isn't it? You wouldn't be able to throw it away if there is a witch in the party. So shut up, Andy. You lot probably can't hear what he's saying there. He's trying to distract me. So I'll show you where the objectives are first. Objective 3 is here. 2 is over there. 1 is sat in the middle. 5 nicely positioned there in the deployment zone. 6 is back here, and finally number 4 tucked in behind the tall building here. Andy was the one who got to choose which sides after randomly working out the deployment zone, and he has deployed his lucky statue there to show that he is that side of the table. We just had to pause then. I don't know if you heard the noise in the background, but some dirty so-and-so had their chopper out. So this is the table we're on. We're ready to deploy. We will come back once we've deployed, and we will roll to see who is going to be going first. So this is our current deployment. If we look at it from the end of the table, we have a squad of scouts here and another squad up here that have used their forward deployment. And running down the back side of the Ravenguard deployment zone, a couple of flyers. They've counter deployed against, I've got one immolator over here with a canoness and Celestians in it. The 3 horrible mortars, I somehow need to try and deal with those, and he left them till last so they could be almost as far away from me as possible and still be in cover. Bit tishy if you ask me, but hey ho. We also have down here in this corner a small castle with some scouts. There's the chaplain, a captain, so he's got the reroll to hits for 1, plus one of the flyers, and of course the other razorback. Ready to strike from the shadows are the Vanguard squad, so I'm not quite sure where they're going to come in. Now across the table facing them down, already mentioned this vehicle and its contents. I've put a Sisters Battle Squad here to try and hold this objective. I've got one assassin here and another one here. Another squad here ready to move forward if they've not been killed to try and take the objective that's hidden behind there. Obviously the Imperial Knight, because we can't miss that. And then Celestine and the 2 Dominion squads along with the other Seraphim squad are there to try and push forward and go either direction as is needed. And then finally underneath here, holding the objective here, is another Battle Sister squad and a canoness. I've got everything on the table other than the contents of these 3 vehicles, and I deployed first. So I get +1 to my dice roll. So that's a 4 up to a 5. Ravenguard 6. Let's see if I can steal. I'm looking for the fleur de lis. No, didn't manage to steal. So the only thing that's left, thank you, the only thing that's left to do is Vanguard Moves. So both of these units here are capable of doing a move before the game starts, and Andy also has a unit that does something before the game starts. So we need to roll off to see who does the first deployment. So it's Andy, it's Ravenguard all the way, look. Right then, let's batten down the hatches. We'll get these units deployed. I'll show you where they are, and then we'll start turn 1. So after the before turn 1 movements, 1 Dominion squad has moved forward to there. The other one's moved across there, so closing in on that corner position. And here looking just to be able to go whichever direction they're needed. And the Vanguard have appeared out of the shadows here, just over 9 inches away from this unit. So that's it. Let's go straight into movement and let's see where we end up. So objectives for the Ravenguard, who believe themselves to be the good guys in this fight, are defend objective 1, secure objective 3, and big game hunter. So start with big game hunter. There are 4 targets here in theory. We've got the 3 immolators and of course the knight. So yeah, he should be able to do that. Defend objective 1. That's objective 1 right in the middle. Can't see that happening, to be honest, but you never know. And secure objective 3. Well, that's very well held by the Sisters of Battle at the moment, so that ain't gonna happen. So Not the best cards for turn 1. However, you do get points for killing stuff as well. So, in theory, Big Game Hunter, kill 1, it's worth 2. In fact, it's worth 3 because it'd be first blood as well. So, we'll see. Let's go straight into some shooting now. Oh no, tell a lie. Movement now. God, yeah, I got a bit carried away then. Movement, and then we'll see where we are. So here we are at the end of turn 1 movement phase for player 1, the Ravenguard. This Razorback has moved around slightly. The flyers are no longer here. They've moved across. There's one here together with the Vanguard squad looking to destroy that vehicle. We've also got one here. He's moved in, so the closest model is now the Assassin. And then using his relic jump pack, what's it called?
Raven's Fury.
Raven's Fury. This captain has jumped over from here. He's advanced, but he can still assault. Now, yes, that is an immolator with 2 to 12 instant hitting shots, or auto hitting shots. He tells me he's hoping to have destroyed it and he wants to get to the juicy stuff inside. And then this flyer has moved across here. He's also within range of that immolator, and I think possibly that one as well. So that's it for movement. The pain is about to begin, especially from these horrible things here. You know, we've got a chapter master, so they're re-rolling all hits, and a lieutenant to re-roll wounds of 1. That is horrible. I'm going to struggle to deal with that. Anyway, let's pull the trigger and see what damage gets done. So let's do the opening salvo in the game. We have the Stormhawk Interceptor shooting across at this immolator.
So start off with the Skyhammer missiles. There's 2 sets coming in. I need 4s to hit with these because I've moved and it's heavy, but with the strafing run moderates it back down. So not too bad. Strength 7.
Okay, toughness 7. 2 wounds. AP minus.
Bear with me, sorry.
I'm going to save these.
-1.
So 4 ups. I spoke too soon. Ooh, 5 damage. So down to 5 already. It's not a good start.
The 2 sets of assault cannons.
Is that 12 shots?
12 shots in total.
What are they hitting on? 4s or 3s?
3s with these because of the strafing run.
So what's the difference between those and the last one?
The Skyhammers get -1 against ground contact.
Ah, right.
They get +1 to hit against things with a fly roll.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
So these.
The Seraphim, right.
Yeah, they'll save them for them. So strength
Cool.
6, so 5s to wound you. So just a single.
Just the one. And that's AP -1, isn't it? So 4 up again. No, that's another wound down.
Damage.
Down to 4.
2 shots from the last Talon.
Yep.
Hitting on 3s.
So it's 2 hits.
Strength 9.
So 3s to wound.
2 wounds. AP
Okay.
-3.
So 6 up.
Oh, you jammy bugger.
I'll take that every time. No, that's fine. I won't command point. Nice offer, but no need to command point. Right then, that's that shooting done.
Okay.
Well, there's some shenanigans going on now. I'm not sure I like this. So 1 command point is being played for the heavy bolter to fire a Hellfire round.
Hellfire shell.
So he's firing at this guy. So all he's got to do is hit him, and if he does, is D3 mortal wounds. That's a hit. And 1 mortal wound. Do you want to re-roll that?
No, I'll stick with that.
No. Cool. So that's down to 3 wounds now. And then the snipers, he's declared, are shooting through the window at the cannoness in there. So 2 hits.
What the magic 6 is.
I can see 1. What's the other one?
2 wounds.
2 wounds. Yes, because I am toughness 3. So straight 3 up armor, but 2 up because I'm in cover.
Yay.
1 still gets through. I'll take it. It's fine. Alright, so the hunt for the immolator continues as this Razorback is firing everything, including its hunter killer, to try and kill this. Remember, this is worth 3 points for first blood, big game hunter, and as a kill point.
So hunter killer missile first, which of course always misses. Yay.
Yeah, right. Doesn't look like a miss to me. That's a wound. AP -2, so 5 up. That's a save. Oh, I need the 6s for in a minute for the las cannons.
Stormbolter.
Ah, Stormbolters. 1 hit. 5 up to wound.
No.
Nope.
Twin las cannon.
Go for it. One hit.
Command point.
Two hits. 2 wounds. That double 6 again. Look, I've kept the same 2 dice just in case. They add up to 6. Okay.
No.
No. So a double 1 now, Andy, because you've used your.
You can't write it, can you? You cannot write it. You just can't write it. This game really kicks you in the pants, doesn't it?
Oh dear. 1 wound remaining. I'm sure something will be able to get him.
Oh yeah.
Alright, let's carry on with all the rest of the shooting now. So we continue to try and kill the indestructible immolator down here on 1 wound. So this guy here is firing his assault cannons. He can just reach this one, and he's firing the hunter killer across over to here. He gets -1 to hit, needing a 4. No rerolls available. Ooh, 3 to wound. Rolls 2. A 1. I'll take the 1. It survives. So far. You can carry on and do your other shots at this thing down here now.
2 stormbolt shots.
Yep. 2 hits, 5s to wound. No wounds.
That's twin assault cannons.
Oh, that's an awful lot of 4-ups. So 5s to wound as well.
4 of them.
4. So AP -1. So looking for 4s. Walks through fire. 1 wound taken. Okay, shooting phase continues, and we've just resolved this beast, and I had to use a command point to re-roll to make 1 save, so I'm on 1 wound remaining, and now 4 snipers are going to try and finish me off, and whilst the missile launcher takes a long shot across the table to try and get that invulnerable immolator over there that cannot and will not die. So
missile launcher shot. Needing a 3. Ooh, teasing me. And then snipers.
Just the 1. Only takes 1. You roll a 6. I can't do anything about it. 5. So it's a wound.
4 up.
4 up invul. And he's made it. Obviously we'll bleep that bit out. Anyway, so I've survived for now. So I never intended to do quite this much filming in this first turn, first half, first shooting phase, but we want to see if this thing can survive. So the first one of the guns over here, because these are 3 separate units, is now going to shoot. So it does 43?
43 shots.
Okay. Oh, 11 shots. This isn't looking good. 3s to hit.
3s to hit.
Re-rolling all misses because there's a chapter master there. Not looking good. Okay, so that's an awful lot of hits. Strength.
5.
So 5s to wound.
And re-rolling the 1 because of the lieutenant.
Okay. So how many have we got?
5 wounds to save.
AP.
Straight on whatever you are.
So 3 up saves. 5 of them. No re-rolls to use now.
Yay.
It's dead. Properly dead.
Bloody 6s in there,
I know. It's good, isn't it? And
Does it blow up?
does it blow up? No 6s, please. No, it doesn't blow up. There are 5 girls inside. See if any of them die on a 1. So 1 of them dies. I'll just deploy them and then we'll go from there. So as the dust clears, this immolator has been destroyed. The 4 girls got out. What else happened? Oh, the mortars opened up and they've destroyed the 2 that were hidden in behind there because they would be able to carry that and hold that objective. Trying to think what else has happened.
A couple of seraphim.
Oh yes, 2 more seraphim here died as well. But that is it for shooting. I think that's not a bad turn. They've destroyed an immolator, 6 battle sisters and 2 seraphim, and they've damaged this one, brought him down to 9, taken a wound off of a canoness, and also taken this Vindicator down to 1 wound, so he's relatively easy pickings for these snipers that are all sat everywhere. And of course they're about to go into combat against this one, and this is the one with the twin multi-melters, so no 2d6 shots auto hitting on the way in. So that's it for shooting. we do have assaults to do. Let's go straight into the charge and then the fight phases. So at the end of the assault phase, yeah, this guy ripped me a new one. My 6-up invulns were nowhere to be seen. Likewise over here, whilst I'm still alive, I'm on 2 wounds, and again I didn't manage to make any saves. There's 3 thunderhammers in here and a power axe. Loads of damage done. Could have been worse. One extra one to get through with a thunderhammer and that thing would have been gone, but that's it. Let's see now what we can do in return as we go into the second half of turn 1. So at the end of that turn, Andy has thrown away defend objective 1. That's the one that's in the middle of the table. He's kept secure objective 3 but would have thrown it if he could, and he's got big game hunter, so that gives him 5 points because he scores 1 for big game hunter, 1 for first blood, 1 for killing the unit, so that's 3. Then he also killed a Dominion squad and a Battle Sister squad, so that puts him straight up to 5 points. That's a really good turn 1. Not used to that from Andy. He normally rolls much more rubbish than this.
Thanks, bro.
Welcome. Okay, so cards for me. I've pulled Domination, which is to hold all of the objectives. Well, that ain't going to happen. Supremacy. So if I can hold 3, that'll give me D3. I can do that because I can do that definitely. And secure objective 3, I'm already holding that objective, so that will be fine. The only thing I need to roll is I get 1 act of faith for Celestine, or a unit within 6 inches of her. So I'll quickly do that. On a 2+, I get an additional act of faith because I'm Sisters of Battle. So I do. I will work out what I'm going to do and come back to you. Okay, I had to think really hard about where I wanted to go then. So these have stayed put. The squad that were here have done a 6-inch run move and have managed to get into the building, or partly into the building, to hold that objective. Celestine and the Seraphim use their acts of faith to move from over here across and then move again to there, so that they can now shoot and assault that one. And the Canoness over here and the girls have got out ready to put some shooting up here and down there. And the Knight has moved forward along with this immolator, is now just within 12 inches to flame up at that thing, but also still just about within 3 inches of that objective. So that's it for movement. Let's do some shooting, see if I can enact a little bit of revenge. So I'm part way through the shooting phase. I've managed to do 1 wound to the captain under here with bolt gun fire from this squad. Over here the Celestians have opened fire and killed 2 of the Vanguards, and the Canoness, not happy with this flyer, puts a Inferno pistol in its direction, pulls the trigger and did 6 wounds to it. So that one's weakened. We're now going to roll for this fight here. To begin with, we've got 1 Seraphim with 2 melter pistols. So she's hitting on 4s because of the -1 to hit for flyers. So that's 1 hit and 1 miss. I've already used my reroll this turn.
Do you reroll because of Celestine?
No, she doesn't give that, unfortunately. I wish she did. So 3s to wound. No wound. Okay, so then I've got lots of bolt pistols from the rest of the squad, hitting on 4s. Quite a few hits there. Let's just pull all the ones that missed out. 5s to wound. Just the 1 wound. Saved. Then Celestine has a heavy flamer. So there's 2 hits, auto hits. So strength 5, 5s to wound. No wounds. One of the superior that's with her will throw a crack grenade. She hits. She wounds, AP -1. Saves. And a bolt pistol. That's missed because the -1. Well, that wasn't very effective, was it? Alright, let's have a think and do the rest of the shooting.
Excellent.
So that's the end of the shooting phase. We've been debating whether it's a good one or a bad one. I think it's a bad one. Andy thinks it's a good one, and I think that's mostly because he got off lightly, in my opinion. So the Razorback over here has taken 3 wounds. I've put 2 wounds onto this flyer. Yes, this flyer is down to 4, but I didn't manage to do anything to this. Both Vindicares fired at the captain under here, and with the -1 to hit, I rolled 2s to hit for both of them, so didn't get a hit at all. I did manage to kill one of the artillery units and one of its crew members, but because he's kept the other one alive, it's not a kill point even. So that's quite frustrating. I know it's not all about turn 1, but I would like to have killed this thing. I might still do it. Yeah, I might do, but I would like to have killed it in the shooting phase just to make myself
with your binty assault.
my binty assault. It would have just made me feel better. But anyway, so that's it. I do have some assaults to declare. I will just say what they are now, and then we'll do the actual assaults. So both of these squads here are going to be charging into the Vanguards. Celestine and the Seraphim will be charging this, and that's all I've got. So we'll just resolve those and then we'll come back. Well, that was one of the most unusual fight phases I've ever had with Sisters of Battle. So the Canoness, with her super relic sword, managed to do 3 wounds to the Vanguards, and their storm shields saved all 3 of them. Then the Celestians cut them down in close combat. Then coming across here, Celestine managed to do just 1 wound to this guy, which he then saved. So I did nothing, but the Seraphim managed to do 1 wound to it. So that was an appalling fight phase. However, it can only get better from here. So for the end of the turn, scoring up, I have secured objective 3, and I've killed 1 unit, so I'm on 2 points, and I've got supremacy, which is D3. So hopefully, come on, let's have a big number. That's cocked. It's not standing. Let's try it again. 1. So I'm on 3, Andy's on 5, and I am discarding domination. So first half of turn 2, and we have the objectives for the Ravenguard. They have defend objective 5, defend objective 4, and they're still holding secure objective 3. So Andy's probably going to throw away secure objective 3 at the end of this turn, but defend objective 4 and 5. Well, interestingly, objective 5 is there, right next to his small castle, and 4 is there. So he can certainly start holding them, but he might have to come out, because whilst there is a guy holding it in the corner there, I think he's the what is he? Champion, I think. He might want to put other guys out to support him. We'll see. My own personal thoughts, and Andy's out of the room at the moment, is by keeping that champion there, if he moves this Razorback forward, A, he could try and block the line of sight, B, he could try and stop this thing from charging through, and C, it'll be the closest model, unless he keeps these guys over here, because he's a character, so he'd be holding it. It'd be difficult for me to take off of there, with the exception of the 2 Vindicators. Now bear in mind, I did no damage to this thing. I bet you it flies over here and mullers that one, and then this sniper squad here will probably kill him. But anyway, I can hear him coming back now. Let's keep this our little secret. So Andy's completed his movement phase, and this captain is charging forward. He's got his eye on the Canoness and the Battle Sister squad underneath here. This Storm Talon has flown across. As I predicted, he's right next to the assassin, looking to deal some damage to him. The other Storm Talon has gone into hover mode and has moved across to here, looking to shoot his load into Celestine. Oh, that doesn't sound right.
That sounds very right.
But you know what I mean. He's going to fire all of his guns at that poor innocent Celestine. And these guys here have moved out to get into shooting range of this squad. Other than that, I think the only other things that have happened is the Stormhawk has moved across, and the apothecary round here brought one of the gun crew back to life. So it's going to be harder to score that kill point. And that's it for movement. Let's do some shooting. Let's see how much more damage is done to the Sisters of Battle army this time. So halfway through the shooting phase, some damage has come in at the Canoness, but she survived so far. Hellfire shell hit the knight and did 3 mortal wounds. I've rotated iron shields, and now las cannon love coming in. 2 hits, freeze to wound,
2 wounds,
4 up invuln saves.
Double 2.
Neither made, so hang on, I'm going to use my command point to reroll, because I really don't want to take 2 lots. So I've saved 1. So D6 damage for 4. Okay. 4 damage, down to 17. So at the end of turn 2 shooting phase for player 1, the Ravenguard, Andy didn't manage to roll very well. In fact, he rolled appalling to try and kill the Vendicare. Only took 1 wound. However, he did manage to shoot out both Gemini and put a wound on Celestine. Also managed to shoot out the entire squad of Celestians over here. And then brought the Knight down to 11 wounds. And this Immolator down to 3. So he's slowing me up. He's making it difficult for me to move across the board. It's also then with the kill points, he's managed to push himself up to 7 victory points at the moment. And no doubt this dude here is probably going to charge in and do some damage. So let's look at charge phase and see what happens. So at the end of turn 2 assault phase for the Ravenguard, he made it in on the Canoness, did 2 wounds to her, and she did nothing in return. And that ends this turn. There have been no objectives scored because Andy's still got secure objective 3. Are you keeping that, or are you going to discard it?
I'm going to hang on to it for a minute.
Holding on to it for now, but he's now starting to defend objective 5 and objective 4. So I have to see if I can do something about that. So let's have a look and see where we go from here. So much kudos to Andy. He's really making me have to think about what I'm going to do. So Celestine's act of faith was to restore her wounds because I didn't want her to be the damaged model in the unit, because I would have had to continue taking wound damage on her. And of course one of the Gemini came back to life. The Canoness has moved forward and she's going to be buffing this thing as it shoots over here because he's in hover mode. Then over here the Seraphim used their act of faith and then moved so that the Melters are within range of this one, but it is still in fly mode. And the Canoness drew back out of combat to give us a chance to shoot at that dude at the back. And then over here, the Dominion squad have jumped out. I need to take down this flyer. The Immolator stayed within 3 inches of objective 1, and I'll explain why in a second. And the Knight has moved forward, but of course it only moves 9 inches now. Now the reason I need that is my objectives that I've got are secure objective 1, secure objective 5, which is the objective which Andy's defending at the moment, and mission critical objective, and it's a number 2. And it is properly a number 2 because that is objective 2 over there, so I'm not going anywhere near that. And that there was objective number 5. So I just need to try and kill some stuff to try and reduce how much damage is being done to me. We shall see. So at the end of the shooting phase, I'm now up to 5 victory points because I've managed to pull down the Storm Talon here and the Stormhawk here, but it took an awful lot of shooting to do it. I did fire over at this thing, but I'm just not managing to get any hits on it. And I left this thing, I fired at it, but did nothing. I also fired at the captain here, dragged him down to 3 wounds. It's not enough. All that left is to decide what I want to assault, and I've got 3 assaults potentially to declare. The first assault is the Imperial Knight into the champion in there because it's a 12-inch charge and I need to kill him to stop him defending objective 5.
Do you not have to be 12 inches to reach my base?
12 inches to reach the base.
Yeah, well, 12 inches only brings you within an inch. Sorry. Do you want me to do
okay.
that?
No, that's fine. If it doesn't get me there, I won't do it.
Because 12 only brings you to just the edge of the masonry there, and I'm
right
a little bit inside.
Okay, so I won't charge him.
Sorry.
I'd like to charge him, and I'd like to charge this, and it's just over 12 inches. So he won't charge anything at all.
Sorry.
And then this one here is a 5-inch charge. I deliberately didn't shoot them because I knew he would remove these guys at this end, which would make the charge harder. So this is a 5-inch charge for this and a 9-inch charge for her. So I'm going to start off by charging with this one, I think. Yes, this one.
So we've got 2 shotguns and 3 bolt pistols.
Yep. Here we go. Freeze to wound. 3 wounds. There's the first 2. So took 1 wound, and then the third one. So took 2 wounds. I need a 9-inch to get in. So she's in. And then a 5 for these. They're in too. That's good. I'll move them in.
Scratch one, scared your squad.
I hope so. So scoring at the end of that, I've scored objective 1. I'm throwing away mission critical objective, and I'm keeping secure objective 5. I'm now on 7 points. I'd already put it on.
Did you?
Yeah, no, I'd already put it on, so I wouldn't forget. So I'm on 7. So at the end of turn 2, I'm chasing 9 points because Andy just did the defend objective 5. So turn 3, here we come. So turn 3 movement is complete for the Ravenguard, and this Storm Talon has gone into hover mode, and the captain is hidden in here. He's looking to try and, I don't know what they're going to kill, the Canoness, the Seraphim, both, who knows. And that is all that has moved, with the exception of the chaplain, who I forgot to point out was stood at the side here, and the Vindicator pinned a couple of wounds off of him. He's now he's now taking up a tactical position in front of the, or behind the Razorback. And Andy has just announced to me, so we'll see what happens. He doesn't need it to move because he's going to blow up this Imperial Knight. It's going to explode apparently, which is going to blow up the Immolator and take out how many of the three of the Dominion squads. Well, there you go. There's a prediction. £5 says it doesn't happen. Are you a betting man, Andy?
It ain't gonna happen. I'm just, you know, pie in the sky. What I would like to happen.
We'll see. Right then, let's do some shooting. It's all going wrong. The snipers have been super snipers. So they first of all mortal wounded this thing with the Hellfire missile doodah shot, and did just the one to bring it down to 10. And then he hit it with one of the las cannons, and even with a re-rolls, I'm down. It took me down to 4. He's fired with one of the what do you call it? The what are they called? The quad mortars. Took it down to 1 wound, and now the second one's fired, and I failed my save. It is dead. So I've got to roll to see if it explodes. I really don't want it to explode. I have no re-rolls left because I've already used it. It didn't explode. At least that means that thing is still alive for now, although that hasn't fired yet. So I'll take it off and we'll finish the shooting phase. End of the shooting phase. We already know that that's gone. And down here, 2 more of the Seraphim have been killed and the Canoness has been shot out. So it just leaves assaults to do. So at the end of the assault phase, the captain killed 2 of the battle sisters, but they couldn't fail morale and they did no damage in return. So scoring up, he's thrown away defend objective 6. He's still got secure objective 3 and defend objective 4. So he didn't score any victory points for cards. However, his lead is now up to 11-7 as we go into the bottom half of turn 3 because he killed units. So objectives for Sisters of Battle is double secure objective 5 and secure objective 6. So I'm already holding objective 6. I've done my moves because objective 5 is that one there. So Celestine in theory is now holding that because there's 2 models. I've advanced moved this Immolator and I've advanced moved this one. This one only got a 1, but this one did get a 6, so it's now within Immolation Flamer range. Here I've backed out of combat with this captain and I'm going to try and do some shooting. I used my other act of faith and I managed to hit this with bolt guns and melter pistols, and it's on 1 wound. So with a bit of luck, if everything goes to plan, I might be able to shoot out this vehicle and the captain and take him out of my back lines. So let's see, let's pull the trigger. Hashtag frustrating. So this thing's still alive on 1 wound. I fired everything at it from that squad, and in the end I managed to do 1 wound, which he failed, and then he used his one of his last 2 command points and re-rolled and saved, so it's still on 1. So I'm going to have to weather the Overwatch and charge with the Seraphim, which is a real pain in the backside. And he called it. I rolled a 1 to hit with the Vindicator at the captain under there, so I didn't hit. Over here I did manage to strip 6 wounds off of the Razorback, and a couple wounds with the Immolation Flamer onto the artillery pieces. But that's it for me for shooting. All that remains is to declare some assaults, and I have multiple assaults to declare. So that's the end of the assault phase, turn 3. Kavian Shrike did a glorious intervention, and he's cut down one of the Gemini Superior and done 4 wounds to Celestine. Not a good result. However, I do manage to kill the champion, so I'm securing objective 5, so I score 2 points for that. The Canoness managed to hit this beast of a vehicle, and then he rolled his 6-up save, so no damage done. And over here, this thing had 1 attack and killed 1 Seraphim, and I did no damage back, so it still lives. So although it is degraded, it can still hurt stuff. Turn 4 for the Ravenguard. So at the end of my turn, I forgot to mention, I scored 3 objectives, secure objective 5 twice and objective 6, which brings me up to 11. So we're both level pegging on 11 as we go into turn 4. Ravenguard objectives turn 4, the cards are dumping from a great height. Secure objective 3, defend objective 4 and domination. So domination just isn't going to happen. Defend objective 4, I can't remember which one objective 4 is. Objective 4 is over behind there, you can just see it through the window. And secure objective 3 is one Andy's had for a while now, and that is here. Now he's moved, so this guy has moved off. In theory, if the dice fall correctly, the way he would love them to, he could shoot these guys out, charge in with the captain onto the remaining 2 guys, or girls rather, and hold that objective as long as he can kill them all, which he probably will. So, and then over here everything is starting to move out. There's the Canoness is hidden in that building, so there's 3 dudes heading on their way over to try and deal with her. Kavian Shrike is feeling confident that he can kill Celestine in combat, and based on what he did last time, he's probably right. And there's still the 2 guns behind there ready to shoot as well. So let's see, shooting. So at the end of the shooting phase, this thing pulled off a blinder and this hit and killed all of the Seraphim. Really didn't need that. There's only 2 sisters there, denying this captain from securing objective 3. Then on top of that, over here, they shot the Canoness out. She's been mullered completely. So 2 more victory points already scored, and we've still got the fight phase to continue with. Oh yes, and the Immolator got blown out as well. I think it survived against the las cannons, but then it was one of the cannons, one of the artillery pieces that, let's just show you where they are, did the damage. So yeah, really, yeah, it's now, they're up to 14 against 11. If they kill this squad, that'll be 15, plus securing objective 3, 16. And if they kill Celestine, well, she might get back up. I've kept 1 victory point for the 1 command point for a reroll. We'll see. But that's it for shooting. Assaults. So assault phase completed. Celestine has fallen. So at the end of the phase, does she get up on a 2+?
She does.
She does. I've been holding on to a command point in case for that. And over here, miracle of miracles, one of these managed to survive, so I'm still holding objective 3. So no points scored. I just need to work out where I want to put Celestine on the battlefield.
Discarding domination.
So domination discarded. So with my acts of faith, I managed to shoot up with the bolt guns from this squad and luckily take the Storm Raven out of the sky, and Celestine used another act of faith to bring back one of her followers on 1 wound, and then movement, she's moved across there. The Immolator that's damaged here has moved across to here, so it's now within range of this Razorback. And finally, this one here has moved out of combat so that the assassin can hit the captain. So that's it, that's me done. Let's try and do some shooting, see if I can hurt something. So end of shooting and assaults. This one is alive, no damage done over here, but Celestine managed to flame out the scouts and then multi-charged the Razorback and the chaplain, killing the chaplain, and but not doing anything to the Razorback. So that's it for me. I've brought myself up to 14 points, and I've scored no objectives. So I'm going to throw away defend objective 5, so at least I'll pull one card next turn. So turn 5 objectives for the Ravenguard. Still got secure objective 3, defend objective 4, and supremacy. So essentially all Andy needs to do is kill that one lone unit in there. That will get him his 3rd objective, because this guy has moved around to get hold of this objective, and Celestine is over 3 inches away. But that will also get him secure objective 3. So that'll be 1 point guaranteed plus D3. Let's see, this could be a last minute splurge. So a roundup of turn 5 for the Ravenguard, and this dude here managed to kill me, so he's now secured objective 3. They managed to blow up the tank here. Took a lot of shooting, but they got there in the end. That's destroyed. Killed one of the sisters here, they're okay. And then that means 1 objective, 2 objectives, 3 objectives. So that's a D3, and Andy rolled a 3. So that, combined with all the kill points and securing objective 3, puts him on 20 command points, or 20 victory points to my 14. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull this back, but let's see what card I pull, because I'm only getting 1. Let's see where we go from there. So at the end of the phase, I didn't manage to kill this guy. I dragged him down to 1 wound, and he did 1 wound in return. Over here, Celestine did manage to destroy that tank. So I'm now on 16 points because I'm securing objective 2. I've thrown away psychological warfare. If the game ends now, both Andy and I get an extra point for behind enemy lines. So does the game end on a 1 or a 2? It goes on to turn 6. So turn 6, objectives for the Ravenguard. Secure objective 1, which is the one in the middle. Overwhelming firepower, so kill stuff and scour the skies, so that's Celestine. Let's see. So end of turn 6, these guys have been dragged down to 2 models by all this indirect fire. Kavian Shrike tried to run across, he needed a 6 to be able to get within 3 inches of this one. He's just short. That would have scored an objective point. And down here, the Vindicator managed to take down the captain in close combat, but he took 2 wounds first, almost died before he got a chance to fight. So that's it for the first half of turn 6. Now we go to the second half. So at the end of turn 6, these 2 girls moved out, so they're out of my deployment zone. The assassin moved forward, so he's out of my deployment zone, so I've scored advance. Celestine used her act of faith to jump across, then she moved. She's managed to charge and kill Shrike, so I get a victory point for a kill and slay the warlord, and she's holding objective 1. So at the end of that phase, it is now 21 to the sisters to 20 to the Ravenguard. I need the game to end, but let's see, does it or doesn't it? That's a 1. That's a 1. That's it. Good game, bruv.
Nice one.
Epic handshake, and that's it. Hope you've enjoyed this, and we look forward.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, subscribe. It helps the channel out. Thank you, Andy, for reminding me.
No problem.
So yes, we'll be back again soon with our next battle report.